I wanted to start this video from saying that I am really surprised by this lens, but I am not. I was not surprised by this lens at all. This is Viltrox, and I've learned to expect a lot of good things, and I'm not disappointed here. What we got here, we do have a brand new APS-C 15mm f1.7 lens from Viltrox, so 22.5mm full frame equivalent, and is available in Fuji X, Sony E or Nikon Z mounts. We got here very affordable, cheap, very small, very light, very bright f1.7 lens that is actually very sharp too. Actually works very well. Kind of new, I guess, now to these budget-friendly brands. In the past, there was cheap and low quality. Viltrox have actually changed this with the Air Series, this series of lenses, because they are very affordable. They are no frills lenses, but they deliver actually amazing, very good quality for what they cost and what they are. It costs here in UK £217 or about $227 in US. Amazing price for 15mm prime. It's all plastic, of course, that's why it's very light, 180 gram and this small. What makes this lens stand out is the image quality. Optically, it matches other lenses from the series and kind of gives that Viltrox standard now high quality look. The contrast and colors are really good most of the time. Even wide open at f1.7, it is very sharp edge to edge. There's no problems, especially if you close the aperture down and you shoot landscape or architecture. It excels. It's way better than a lot of lenses I have seen which cost 4 or 5 times more than this. Also because of its size and how well it pairs to small APS-C cameras like this Fuji XS20, it's a fun lens to shoot with. This is a lens which is good for landscape, architecture, travel, or everyday stuff. It's not ultra wide and it's not standard. It's somewhere on the wide side of things, but not quite wide. I am not a big fan of 24mm lenses. I struggle to find exactly use for them, but I like 20mm lenses. So it's kind of sits closer to 20. It's more usable, more versatile for everyday stuff. I think it's not really great lens for portrait unless you want to do something different. But a lens that suits itself to everyday carry when you want to capture more in the frame. The autofocus works very well. On this camera, it's probably limited by the camera, not the lens, but generally speaking, it works as it should. There's no problems with it. Obviously, for this price, something gives. You get what you pay for. There is a few little niggles. There is chromatic aberration visible. Not tragically bad. There is obviously tiny bit of vignetting visible as well, especially if I push pictures, like contrast in the pictures hard and edit, that kind of comes out a bit more. Flaring, Viltrox say, is very under control, is suppressed. It kind of is. It is way better than the norm, but when it flares in a specific way. You get like a purple brick visible in the middle of the pictures, and there is some loss of contrast. You could be picking on the lens like this forever, but you know what? These things are not tragically bad. They're not bad at all, actually. Yes, it has got some little issues, but they're not really a problem. There's no buttons on the lens or switches whatsoever. There's no weather sealing. It could be a deal breaker for some, but the price, remember the price. Filter thread is 58mm, and there's a USB-C socket at the back of the lens to connect it to computer to install future film updates. The focus ring is nice and smooth with a tiny bit of plastic on plastic rubbing, kind of standard, normal, as expected. For video, it performs very well. There's no surprise there either. The autofocus works as well as the camera allows it. This is a good focal length for vlogging or filming yourself with. I find that very often like the true 15mm, like on a full frame, 15 or 16mm is a little bit too wide and you get that crazy wobble in the corners. And then you got lenses like 24, which are just too tight, a little bit too tight. This is a good focal length for filming yourself, for filming handheld from the camera held in your hand. Also great for gimbal maybe, or when you want to capture that sense of motion. This works as it should, just like with other lenses in Air Series. It's not too bad autofocusing, generally speaking. It has got occasional little wobbles. There's some hearable sound coming from the lens when it's focusing. But yeah, if you consider the price, it's all above average and very acceptable. So the final thought is, firstly, if you have or planning to buy any other lenses from this series, they all look alike. They all got very similar size and look. Design-wise, they match, but also optically, they deliver very, very similar results, so you know what you're getting. I said this before about these lenses. There should be more lenses like this on the market. Lenses that are fun to shoot with, lenses that can deliver good quality, lenses that are really usable for a lot of applications, and most importantly, very affordable. This price makes it very accessible, very affordable, spur of the moment purchase or present. It's a lens that, unlike a lot of expensive professional lenses, it's not inaccessible and it's not out of reach a lot of people. Great value for money, and this price possibly makes it the best 15mm for APS-C, Sony, Nikon or Fuji cameras you can buy. Viltrox done it again. This is a very cool lens and I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching. This is it from me. You know the drill, like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.